For the budget last year in Chogham, I asked you this, you recommitted to that. I just want to say on record now, you are not recommitting to that today, are you?
Well, it's only a matter of days now to the budget.
Okay.
We will set out our plans in that budget. I've set out what the principles are,
Okay.
and I can tell you, in politics for me is about who do you have in your mind's eye.
It's working people, and you're going to put their taxes up.
I have in my mind's eye people who are struggling with cost of living, who can't necessarily make ends meet. And that's political. It's also personal. When I was growing up, we couldn't always make ends meet. We couldn't always pay our bills. I know what it feels like to be in your kitchen around the table wondering which bills you're not going to be able to pay this month. And so having who you have in your mind's eye is really important. That's what I've got in my mind's eye as we go into this budget.
Okay, PM, you promised to end the chaos when you were elected, but since the summer we've had Winterfield U-turn, welfare U-turn, Rayner's resignation, Mandelson's sacking, Andy Burnham's leadership drama, the Wes Street in number 10 showdown, pitch rolling and income tax rises only to U-turn. You haven't ended chaos, you are the chaos.
Look, every minute that we're not talking about the cost of living is a wasted minute.
But this is chaos.
But at the same time, we have delivered free childcare for children between 9 months and 4 years. That's a game changer for children when they're in their education and for parents.
Do you acknowledge
only yesterday we were rolling out the extension of free breakfast clubs. We're freezing prescription charges. We're maintaining the cap on bus fares.
So none of the stuff that I've just mentioned, that you're just going to gloss over that and not acknowledge that this is chaotic?
No, I'm not. But I'm really conscious of the fact that what the majority of people want to know is, if my number one issue is paying the bills and making sure I can make ends meet, what are you doing about that? And that's why it's important for me to say these are the measures we're taking.
Let me put it another way. Are you disappointed about what's been going on in your Downing Street since September?
I think that every minute that we're not bearing down on cost of living is a wasted minute, frankly, for the government and for the country.
PM, you described Hartlepool as a very, very low moment for you when you lost that by-election. It was a hard period. Has there been another moment like that for you since being Prime Minister? Because it's been rough.
Well, I always knew that turning around the country after 14 years of Conservative failure was going to be difficult and would take time. I said as much before the election. But look, we've done a lot of interviews, and you will know that when I took over as leader of the Labour Party, I was challenged I'd never be able to change the Labour Party. We did. I was then challenged that Labour Party, having lost very badly in 2019, would not be able to win in 2024, and we did. And now I'm challenged on the basis that we can't turn the country around. I say we can, and I say that we will. And I will be judged at the next general election, above all else, I think, on whether people feel better off, whether their public services are better, particularly the NHS, and whether they feel safe and secure.
Yes, I'm interrupting because I'm being told I need to stop.
Okay.
After the 2021 by-election loss, in 2024 you told me you thought about standing down because you said, I didn't feel that I should be bigger than the party. If I couldn't bring change, perhaps there should be a change in leadership. Are you absolutely sure you're going to lead the party into the next general election?
That's why, given half a chance, I want to explain the change we're bringing about, because some of the things we're doing, free childcare for 9 months to 4 years, is a game changer for children. This is really
what I'm
important.
getting at.
Prime Minister, simple question. Yes or no? Will you keep your word and not raise taxes on working people like you swore in the manifesto? Buckert, we'll set out our plans in a few days. Last year you said it was an absolute commitment. Say it again today. PM, difficult backdrop. 2008 crash, austerity, Brexit, COVID, Ukraine. You'll see everything in the budget in a few days. You won't rule out tax rises on working people, will you? PM, you'll be able to hold me to account in a few days. Freezing tax thresholds drags millions into higher tax bands. That hurts working people, yes or no? PM, we're bearing down on the cost of living. You'll see the full plans on Wednesday. You promised it over and over on this exact sofa. Today you won't repeat it once. You're breaking your word, aren't you? PM, I have in my mind's eye people sitting round the kitchen table, worrying which bills they can't pay. That's who I think about. Then the killer blow, you said you'd end the chaos. Instead, we've had winter fuel U-turn, welfare U-turn, resignations, sackings, number 10 punch-ups, pitch-rolling income tax rises, then U-turning again. You are the chaos! Every minute we're not talking about cost of living is a wasted minute. He reels off free childcare and breakfast. Clubs like that erases the betrayal. Are you disappointed with what's happened in Downing Street? PM, turning the country round after 14 years of failure is hard. I changed the Labour Party. We won a landslide. Now watch me change the country. After the last by-election disaster, you nearly quit. Your ratings are in the toilet. Will you definitely lead Labour into the next election? I won a landslide on a mandate for change. Judge me at the next election on whether people feel better off than the Nigel Farage hammer. You called him formidable. Now you call him spineless. Why the U-turn? Say one of his MPs said she's sick of seeing black and Asian faces on TV. That's racist. Farage hasn't got the spine to deal with it. And today, his ex-Wales leader got over 10 years for taking Russian bribes. He needs to launch a full investigation into his party's Kremlin links instead of just shouting. Do you think Nigel Farage is racist? That's why when someone in his party says that and he does nothing, he hasn't got the guts to call it out. Most people watching know what that is. Final dodge on China. No trip confirmed. Cooperate where we can, challenge where we must. There it is, raw and unfiltered. The Prime Minister who stormed into power promising no tax rises on